Myrtle's Bakery is rising to the next level, not just with fresh baked flavor, but with a voice that speaks to the heart of the community. Miss Andrea is going live on KTSU, using the airwaves to inform, inspire, and invite. Because growth starts with connection. And at Myrtle's, community is always the main ingredient.
This is a young musician who has 713-313-1909.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay,
What is your name? I love you. Really? Okay. Oh, good.
We be like,
So, some German chocolate, some samples. Also have some cookies out there too as well. Big old tray of cookies, tea cakes, oatmeal raisin, chocolate chip, peanut butter, and then
this
I got.
is ours though. Right? You're Andrea.
I'm Andrea. So in the bakery, we have a big picture of my mom, and people think that's me. And I had a lady pass by. I was opening the gate coming in. So she said, she said, can I speak to Miss Myrtle? And my front person said, unless you go to heaven. She said, no, Miss Myrtle, I just saw her this morning. She was opening the gate and I blew at her. So she called me and she said, you are Miss Myrtle. I said, no, I'm her daughter. She passed away and she didn't know. So it was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were her.
From Myrtle's Bakery Shop.
Yeah. Miss Myrtle's Bakery Shop is actually named after my mother who passed in 2021. Originally, we were called Not Just Donuts Bakery. So we started in December of 2000. And when she passed in 2021, we rechanged the name to Miss Myrtle's Bakery Shop to honor her.
And so that's an iconic, legendary bakery shop.
Yes.
Right here.
In Third Ward.
In Third Ward, Texas.
Yes.
You know, it shouldn't be Houston, Texas. It should
be Third Ward, Texas. Yes.
They need to figure out how to make that happen.
Yes.
Because then you have Houston and then there's
Third Ward.
Okay, I've just learned that.
Yes.
Okay. So talk to us about the history of this iconic bakery shop.
Well, formerly we were known as Not Just Donuts Bakery. And when my mom passed in 21, we changed the name to honor her to Miss Myrtle's Bakery Shop. And we have been in business over 24 years.
That's what I was going to ask. How long?
24 years in business. So we've been operating as Not Just Donuts Bakery up until 21. And then she passed, and then we changed the name after her passing. I think October, November of 21, when we changed the name, 2021.
So everybody who grew up in this community.
Yes, knew us as Not Just Donuts Bakery.
And they would always go to that.
Yes, always. Wow. So we are now in the building where Old Drexel's Barbecue used to be, at the corner of Emancipation and Gray, well, formerly Dowling Street and Gray. We're right there at that corner, serving up good desserts.
What kind of dessert?
We have peach cobbler, Myrtle's best peach cobbler, my mom's recipe.
So you have all your mom?
I have the whole book. I, started as a kid in the kitchen with her at 8 years old. And so I've learned the recipes. She would work on me. And when we started the bakery, when she opened the bakery, I was the one who started it with her. I left a career to help her start the business. And so that started in 95, the idea. We did our research. We did a business plan. Took us 5 years. And in 2000 is when we opened. I was working downtown at an oil and gas. I won't say their name. And I worked and I left. I left to help my mother. That's the only mother I have.
That's called walking out.
Yeah, I walked on, and I remember the day I had my box. When I left, and I was on Louisiana Street, and I was crying. And the Lord said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I walked out on faith. I did. And I told my mom, for the next few years, you can't pay me, because I wanted her business to grow. And I stayed there, even though it was hard, but I stayed. So with the baking, it's a passion of mine because it's in my DNA. It was in her DNA. And she taught me. And so it was always, I need you to come in this kitchen with good karma, pray. So we prayed. We literally have prayer service we first opened up, we didn't know what we were doing, but we knew how to bake. And to serve the masses was a lot different than baking at home, baking 1 or 2 cakes. But then you have 30 cake orders, 50 peach cobblers. There's a learning that you had to do. So my mom taught me. And so now I'm so proud that she did. I took the time to learn. I have other siblings who didn't take the time to learn.
Because that's not for everyone.
That was not for everyone.
Everybody's not called.
No, not everyone's called for that. It's a passion. Yes. So I still have that same passion, and I love it. And I'm still to this day working in the bakery, in the kitchen. That's my favorite spot. I can decorate cakes, but my passion is at baking. And I don't trust everybody in the kitchen. I've hired people, and I've had to let them go because they didn't have that passion.
But you have to understand what you just said in this conversation. You said y'all prayed.
Yes, we prayed. And she was serious.
And if it wasn't right, it's not going to be right.
Mm-mm. She would tell me, yes, pray over it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then when people try to come along to help, no, because you don't fit that. You can't do that.
I had one of my siblings, she always want to be in a rush. But she'll come in the kitchen and she'll ragefully go in there and it doesn't turn out right. So it was like the karma wasn't right, her spirit wasn't right, and she didn't have the passion and love for it.
She didn't want to do that.
So with me, I noticed that even now, when I even talk to people and bring them into the kitchen, I want to see what their passion is and if they're going to follow instructions. Because I have recipes. Now, for me, it's in here, but I still do sometimes have to refer back to my recipe book. Right. I want to see where they're at. I put them in the test. So let me interviewing them. I want to hear you go, let's see if you can follow that. And then they come back, oh, well, if you could do this, and so you're not the person for me. Look at that. So I'll continue to bake now until I find that person. And it's hard. It's hard, but I'm
a firm believer everything is not for everybody. And you and your business are not for everybody.
Exactly.
That's how that goes.
First of all, services, we give impeccable customer service. We make everybody feel like family. We give them a hug. And everybody who's been a customer of ours, remember my mom. She would sit down, have her coffee. She'd pray over customers. She'd bless their children. She loved on them. If they had someone in their family pass, she always offered them a free dessert, like a whole full sheet cake for their repast, whatever. We always did community things. So one thing is our customer service is impeccable, hands down. We always gonna give you a smile and make you feel welcome. And that's one of our services. Now, what we offer is a little bit of taste of heaven.
I love it.
So I love what I do. Yeah. So here's the story. My mom and I both were struck with COVID in 2021, August of 2021. We spent almost 2 months in the hospital. And I had another sibling and her kids were working there. So it was a 3-generational business. And so I had others, but they weren't running. They weren't in the forefront in the business. So it was me and my mother. For us to go out like that, it was painful. And so I got out a week before my mom passed. She passed. That was a hard struggle. That was in September of 2021 due to COVID. And it nearly took me out. And I had to fight. I had to literally fight. And I got text messages in my phone from my mother. I didn't know she was in the hospital. No one told me, your mom is in the hospital. We had to rush her to the hospital. She would tell me, I need you to fight to live. And so I fought. And I would go back to the messages even now that encourages me. I would not delete them. I use them as an encouragement because she was encouraging me and I didn't even know she was in the hospital until later. I learned that she was. And I know why they did that because it took me back. I would have resets in the hospital when I learned that she was also struggling for her life. And so they didn't want me to know so much of it because they had to sedate me. And that wasn't good for my heart and my lungs. Anyway, fast forward, when I did get out, I was faced with the bakery. How are we going to run this? My siblings were trying to run it, but they wasn't running it. And they were just there. And it was just going downhill. So from the end of 21 to 23, the business wasn't as vibrant as it was when my mom was living. And I had to literally fight to live. I suffered from long COVID for a long time. My lungs were really damaged, and I'm going to claim victory that my lungs are clear. Like me talking right now, I couldn't talk a year ago like this. I would be so out of breath just to speak a word. And people can, are you okay? They would ask me, are you okay? Because they can hear it. I struggled to even speak. I struggled to walk. I'd be so out of breath. And I am thankful. I'm about to cry right now that in the kitchen, I can cook. And my husband helps me a lot. He's retired and he doesn't ask for a check. So he's my help. And if I had not had him, I don't know where I'd be, because he in that kitchen, them cookies that I got back there on the table, he helps bake those.
Don't eat up the cookies.
Don't eat up the cookies.
Okay,
he helped bake those. And it's just the power of God that I can sit here and talk freely. Because I'm just last year I couldn't. I'd be panting almost to just speak a whole full sentence. And I can now flow. So in my baking, I can, even in the, I was saying the other day, I said, wow, I got so much energy that I would be so out of breath even in the kitchen. I can move now and with no problems. So I'm so thankful.
You have a mission, darling.
Yeah.
You do. And it's all over you.
Mm-hmm.
And God bless you.
So it's more about food.
But that's your mission.
Yes.
That's your mission. And your mother is guiding you.
Yes, she is. She's guiding me.
Know.
Yes, she's guiding me.
I'm feeling all of this.
So you want to hear another story?
Oh.
So here's another story. I got to tell this. So one Saturday, me and my husband were working. We do cakes, custom cakes, birthday cakes, wedding cakes. We do them all for any occasion. And we were faced with this difficult cake we had to do with this little new bunny for cartoon. Anyway, and he's artistic more than I am. And he has an art background. So he used to do all the art. So I had him doing the little fondant work and creating this 3D rabbit. I was in the kitchen baking. It was on a Saturday. We got there early. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. We got there real early. We had a lot of orders to fill. And my staff had made it in. And so I was in the kitchen stressing. He was in the other room stressing. And he was in the very room that my mom always worked in. She worked with her hands. And she did all our flowers, handmade flowers, all the 3D figures for cakes. And he was doing her old job, sitting in her very chair in that room. And I was so stressed. He come in, he said, baby, it's going to be all right. He had tears in his eyes. He said, your mom visited me and told me, want me to tell you that it's going to be all right. And so he went back in the room and he said, as he was working on, because he kept messing up, he didn't know what he was doing, her hands guided him to help him create. And she said, follow me. He hadn't met my mom before because by the time I met him, she had already passed. So he didn't know her. He felt her presence. And that was the first visit he actually got from her. And we knew it was her. Because when he created that, after he came to me and said, hey, your mom says it's going to be okay. We hugged, we prayed. He went back in that room and he finished it in an hour. And it's about 9 o'clock. So we got there at 6 o'clock. He started immediately on that cake to create the 3D figure. And in an hour after that happened, he finished it. And it was like the whole and everything that day went just so smoothly. So she makes her little glimpse and she appear in certain ways to let us know that it's going to be okay.
I knew that. Wow.
So I know that this is my destiny. This is my purpose. And she always would instill in me those things. We'll have these private conversations leading up in 2021 before she passed. These are conversations. Quitting is an option. It's not an option, Andrea. This business got to go on. My legacy got to continue. And so that's what I got to do. I got to continue this legacy. So,
Miss Myrtle's Bakery Shop, located at 2020
yes,
Emancipation Avenue. The website, MissMyrtlesBakery.com. The number 713-951-9211. Andrea Jackson.
Yes. Thank you for this invite.
Your journey.
Yes.
Your journey.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I still got a ways to go.
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's already got that mapped out for you. Oh my gosh, Andrea. What a blessing to have met you. What a blessing to have you share your incredible story to our listeners on this radio station, which is why this radio station is so incredibly important, because we have to tell our stories.
Yes.
Nobody is going to do that for us but us. 713-313-1909. Don't worry, I don't care what. That bag is that bag. We're not talking about that bag. And if they ate them cookies, I'm gonna be mad.
So it's what's in the bag, so you'll know?
No, I already got, Oh, well, no, because I don't want them in the back to hear.
Okay.
But go ahead and whisper.
So I brought some samples of heavenly butter cake with buttercream icing and our to die for German chocolate cake. Those are my absolute two favorites. However, we do many other flavors.
His eyes just lit up. His eyes, he was like, what? Okay.
Uh-oh. Yes. So we do many flavors. We have the heavenly butter with cream cheese, heavenly butter cake with chocolate. We have red velvet cake. We do peach cobbler. We do a sweet potato a sweet potato cheesecake. Okay, please. Yeah. I listen to you. I grew up listening to you.
See,
I grew up.
they say I don't have any young listeners. That's what they say.
I'm in my 50s, but
I said, but you've been listening since.
I've been listening.
I said they grown up. I get called. It's like I had children. I'm not supposed to.
Miss Marilyn. No, we grew up. It had to be. In the moment we woke up in the morning, till that radio can't stay on, even with the TV on, all the way to Monday morning.
All right. Do a gospel song.
On the way to church. Thank you. Okay. You gonna get in the cake? Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. Came to the back door, huh?
Front door. Got us in there crying and stuff.
I didn't plan. I planned to talk about desserts but I had to tell that story. Yes. Oh, this is beautiful.
I experienced all this.
Oh yeah.
Because we had the 78s when I was growing up, and I remember those radios. Remember those? Y'all probably had those.
Remember all that and that?
In the summertime.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I had that. Look at those fuses in there. They used to light up. Remember?
These kids are.
That story needed to be told. It just needed to be told. Like people like me, I'm not from here, so I have no idea. So when I'm hearing that, I'm going, oh my God. So when you
my notes wasn't on. I didn't have that on my notes. None of that listed on my notes. So my notes, I had about cakes and just cakes and the legacy story. Yeah, you pulled it out.
People will call me.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
sometimes they miss it.
yeah.
So that's why we have the information.
Oh wow.
Let me show you this room.
Yeah, you pulled it out of me.
This is the camp. You can just stand right here. This is the campaign room. Now,
okay.
look in.
Oh,
That's
okay.
where they,
Taking
Answer the phone.
to answer the phones. Oh.
you'll see.
So I'm. It just compels me to do more.
Uh-huh.
I have a professional state.
Yeah.
Yes.
All our pretty artwork.
Mm-hmm.
This is my office back here. Right.
This way you say, okay. This is nice.
Miss Andrea took to the airways on KTSU to share more than just baked goods. She shared a heartfelt journey, a story rooted in family, passion, and the power of community. Myrtle's Bakery is rising not just in flavor, but in purpose, inviting everyone to be a part of something special. Now it's your turn to experience it. Visit Miss Myrtle's Bakery at 2020 Emancipation Ave, Houston, Texas 77003, where every bite is made with love and every guest is treated like family. Myrtle's Bakery, a heartfelt journey is rising with the community.